Well, good afternoon, everybody. We have a few seats left up here if y'all want to come get in the cool shade. My name is Henry Fourier. I'm president of the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and I'd like to welcome you all here today. We have a couple of board members of the CVB, Tim Peters, Nancy Hoffman, Madison, Carol, Snyder. Anybody else? Oh, and Tony Collins. Villiers. Tony Collins is somebody else. Steve. Tony Villiers. Sorry about that, Tony. Also representing the City Council is one of our privileged speakers, Mayor Vaughn, and then Nancy Hoffman also serves on the City Council. Anybody else? I think that might be it. Well, this all started a while back when Mayor Vaughn contacted me and called me to her office and issued me and the CVB a challenge, and that was to develop a new brand for the city of Greensboro. Accepting the challenge, the first thing I did was to put together a team of professionals and take on this opportunity. We began that process by contacting DCI, which is Development Counselors International, who not only does this as a specialized effort day to day, but they had just completed some work in our community. And then to include a local and creative perspective, I reached out to Beth Bolton of Bolton Creative. Beth is over here. To come and be a part of our team. We next built a task force of 20 local community leaders, which some are here today. Would you please raise your hand if you were on that task force? And I just see my chairman, Mac Sims, walking up. So, hey, Mac, welcome. But anyway, the list of community leaders, task force members is in the press kit that we'll be giving out if you want to see specifically who was on there. So we started the process, and now to give you a brief introduction of how that took place is Beth Bolton.
Hey there. Oh, God, I'm loud. I don't always need a microphone. I'm Beth Bolton with Bolton Creative, and we're real excited to be part of this process. We have always wanted to take part in this, and we were very excited that Henry called us, and we were working with Nancy and everybody in our community. We really enjoyed working with DCI, and DCI had a really unique perspective because they've done this with people, with cities across the country. And what was really fun with them and working with them is that they were really shocked at the involvement that we had in our entire community. They had, we'd put together a survey, and not only did we do the survey just to our local community leaders, we also put it out to the entire community. They expected us to have about 100 to 200 people reply to our survey. We had thousands and thousands of people that replied, well into over 4,000 initially, and then it went up to about 6,000 at the completion of the whole survey. So that was well beyond what anybody expected. So we really feel as though this community this brand really reflects exactly what our community thinks of Greensboro. And we're really proud, and Nancy's going to go through a little bit more of the statistics and the process and how it all came about, and also introduce you guys to the new brand. So, but we really were very proud to be part of this whole process. So, Nancy, I'm passing it off to you.
Thank you, Beth, and thank you, Henry. It has been a really long time. We had planned to announce this in March of 2020, but as you know, COVID happened, and we couldn't do it at the men's basketball finals because there were no men's basketball finals. And then as time went on, we thought that maybe we should revisit what our tagline should be to make sure that it really captured the essence of Greensboro. It may sound simple, but it comes with a very deep meaning. So without further ado, I'd like to say you're welcome. And if we could key the video. Doesn't it make you happy to be in Greensboro? Sometimes we forget about all our great assets that we have, and it's wonderful to try to capture it in a quick video like this. The phrase "you're welcome" is a natural response to thank you here in the South, and we do our best to be polite at all times. To me, though, when I hear this tagline, it really makes me think about us as a city. And keep in mind that a tagline, a branding campaign, isn't necessarily for the city, because the city, we know who we are. It is to introduce people throughout the world, because we really are getting wide world attention right now. It is our introduction to the rest of the world about the city of Greensboro. Nearly 8 years ago, on April 15th, 2014, the Greensboro City Council unanimously passed a resolution declaring Greensboro to be a welcoming city. This was part of a national movement to create a more welcoming and supportive community for immigrants and refugees. It also helps us recognize just how much immigrants and refugees bring to our city, and so we need to support their efforts for a better life for them and their families. Our goal is to build on cooperation, respect, and compassion throughout our community for immigrants and non-immigrants alike, to visitors, to students, to businesses that are here, and for businesses to come. We want Greensboro to live up to the highest societal values of acceptance and equality, and to treat all newcomers and people who live here with decency and respect. How often have you had conversations with people and say, when you think of Greensboro, what comes to mind? Most people say it is our diversity, it is our culture, it is our history. So we tried to encapsulate that into a short tagline, and I believe that "You're Welcome" does just that. We want to welcome everyone who calls Greensboro home or is just visiting to experience our amazing quality of life. Whether it's taking advantage of our award-winning parks, trails, or greenways, or visiting the Greensboro Science Center, or taking in a show right here at the Tanger Center, Greensboro really has something for everyone. I can't think of welcome without thinking about how much we have welcomed new businesses to Greensboro, how Toyota selected the Greensboro Randolph megasite for its U.S. automotive battery plant, how Boom Supersonic selected the PTI Airport for its first supersonic airline manufacturing facility, or Publix, the supermarket building distribution center here in Greensboro. And those are just a few of the announcements. Volvo, who is expanding, Syngenta, who is expanding, the Fresh Market, who is expanding. We are the place to be. Despite these new business commitments being new, we have been preparing behind the scenes for years now, and we welcome them. We welcome their workers. It is our infrastructure, housing, and much more. We want everyone here to feel welcome. It's an exciting time to be in Greensboro, and I want to thank everyone who has given so much to help Greensboro be the amazing place that we are. And when I thank them, I know they'll say, "You're welcome." So we do have time for questions. Andy. Well, we'll always be, his question, in case you couldn't hear it, is what would happen to the Gate City brand? We're always going to be known as the Gate City. That is part of our history. Some people will still refer to the Gate City because we've got businesses that start with Gate City. You know, they were the start of Greensboro. You couldn't get anywhere without going through Greensboro, which is why we are the Gate City. Say that again. I believe there will be some marketing out on the highway, yes. And it will be up to you to help us promote that brand. And so people really understand the depth of commitment to your welcome. That the people here in our city are welcome, but visitors are welcome. You know, when we do the ACC tournament, you see the banners all over, fans first. We welcome people who come to Greensboro and people who decide to build their lives here. Any other questions or comments? Well, I want to say thank you for attending, and in return, you will say? All right, you got it. Thank you.